Hi, I'm PokemonChallenges. I'm the frickin' best Nuzlocker in the world, probably. And today, we're gonna be looking at every single Pokemon in the series and ranking them based on how difficult they are to Nuzlocke. We're going through all the games from Gen 1 through Gen 8. Full disclosure, there's a few of these that I haven't run in a while. Both Ruby Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl have become kind of obsolete now that Platinum and Emerald exist. Hey, you see those all of those cool people over there making funny jokes? If you want to join them, go follow me on Twitch. I stream there every day and do really hard Nuzlocks if that's something that you're into. Also, you're probably not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. You think you are, but you're not. So scroll down, make sure that you are, because it helps me, I think. I don't know. Leave a like. Hey, make sure to join the subreddit r/PChalTV for good memes. Starting straight off, there's a lot of assumptions that go into this, right? A lot of factors. My baseline for this is going to be you're a beginner and you're using items and you're not using legendaries. That's going to be like the baseline, right? Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire are fairly easy. You do get a lot of options because of all the new mechanics in the games and everything. Even if you don't use the free Lottie, you use a lot of grinding is really easy because of horde training. Infinite TMs make this game really easy. I think these are definitely novice tier, especially if you pick up the free Latios and Latios. I think Black and White 2 are definitely among the hardest games in the series, especially because there is also a challenge mode, which I'm just kind of gonna factor into this. It has a ton of run killers. It has a ton of really tough fights. It's really, like, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of potential encounters, but none of them are insane. You do get the free Zoroark in Black and White 2, which you don't get in Black and White 1, which eases the pain a little bit. But Iris is incredibly difficult. This is definitely one of the hardest games in the series. A lot of random trainers can kill you. That Durant Lucario trainer can kill you. There's a lot of gym leaders that can mess with you. Clay is really difficult. It's definitely really hard. All right, Black and White 1, I think, because the mid game has a few easier fights, but you don't get the Zoroark, and Lenora is a harder second gym leader. You don't have challenge mode, and the champion fights, I think, are not nearly as difficult. I think these are more in the expert tier, to be honest. I think these are a little bit easier, although it's not by a lot. But these are still pretty difficult games. There is also a pretty difficult Getsus fight, but I would argue all the Team Plasma shit in Black and White 2 makes this harder, for sure. All right, original Red and Blue. Gen 1 has a lot of broken mechanics, one of them being that your opponent's Pokemon will always have level up learn sets, which is boring as shit. You can really easily play around it. There's not a lot of mandatory fights in this game. You can skip a lot. The champion is hard, I would say. And other than that, I think everything in this game is ridiculously easy. If you're picking Charmander, you might be struggling with Brock, and then you might have a hard time against Misty or one or two rival fights. But the fact alone that the AI has like a chance to miss status moves, and everything has status moves because like Sand Attack and Confuse Ray and shit, because everything has level up learn sets, just makes this novice tier to me. Oh, I guess we can do all the gens at the same time. I think that makes more sense. Let's do yellow. So for yellow, the first gym leader is much harder, but the rest of the game is much easier. So I think yellow is also a novice tier here. You get a lot of good shit in yellow, gift encounters and such, but you do need to be able to beat Brock. That's like the hard fight. After that is just as easy, if not easier than these games. Crystal, Gold, Silver, Crystal, I think don't have significant enough differences to really rank them differently. I think they're apprentice tier. It's a long game if you go to red, and the red fight can be difficult because you gotta grind for it and shit. And there can be some hard gym fights. A lot of people struggle with Whitney and stuff. Also, adding new Pokemon to your team in the Nuzlocke can be a huge pain in the ass because everything is so damn low leveled. Also, you're playing Gen 2, which I think I would put this in apprentice tier. I think there's a few hard fights. There's some things you need to deal with, but I think for the most part, you're probably going to be okay. All right, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. So I have a problem with Diamond and Pearl because I haven't played them since Platinum has come out. So like in like over 10 years. So I don't really remember the biggest difference I could think of is that Fantina is later and and Cynthia is easier. I think Platinum definitely sits in expert tier though. I think Platinum Cynthia is like one of the hardest fights in all of Nuzlocking. Platinum has a few really hard fights, right? Like a lot of the gym fights are not that easy. A lot of the team plasma fights are really hard. The Distortion World plasma fight is really hard. The first Cyrus fight is not easy too. The Elite Four can be quite difficult. And then the Champion fight is insanely difficult. I also think Platinum has a tendency of giving you kind of garbage encounters a lot of the times. Fantina is a pretty hard, is like a pretty hard gym fight as well in Platinum. You have like Crash or Wake that you kind of need to prepare for and stuff like that. I think Platinum is one of the hardest games in the series to Nuzlocke, but it's also very rewarding and very fun for sure. Your like Pokemon pool is pretty limited and stuff. Yeah, that's what I would say for Platinum. Some of the rival fights in Platinum can even be tough for sure. And then I think I would rank Diamond and Expert because it doesn't have that early Fantina fight. And if I remember correctly, the Champion fight in Diamond and Pearl is quite a bit easier. So I would put them somewhere here. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I'll do these separately again. Emerald has a few tough fights for sure. Tate and Liza, Winona, Juan. Some of the maxi fights can be difficult. Watson can be really difficult. Even Brawly. I think Emerald is an incredibly hard game. I do think if you pick Marshtomp, a lot of your problems are going to go away. And I do think the Elite Four is a little bit more easy, and so are trainer fights. I think Emerald definitely sits in like low expert tier. Wallace can be difficult, that's true. I will say I think Steven is harder to beat. But there's generally less battles, less double battles. I think Wallace is an easier gym leader than Juan. I think Ruby and Sapphire sit at the top of Apprentice tier. They're a little bit easier than Emerald. Oh, also Emerald has the harder Tate and Liza fight. Yeah, that's another good reason. Fire and Leaf Green. Better AI, better movesets than than Red, Blue, Yellow. You yourself also get better Pokemon though. But enemies have much better movesets. It's still Kanto though, which kind of makes it easy. Their movesets aren't way better. A few more moves to deal with and stuff. But I think they're harder than Red, Blue, Yellow. But I don't think they go into Apprentice tier at all. I think they sit like at the top of Novice tier. Again, it's not like it adds any other harder fights or anything. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I think is definitely harder than Gold, Silver, Crystal. I think also Auras are rated. I think Auras are harder than these two games, or than all these games. I think Heart Gold, Soul Silver is harder, but it still sits in Apprentice. There's just a few things that make it a little bit harder. There's a few more harder fights. Better movesets on enemy trainers, but you yourself also get a few more options to use. I think it sits somewhere here. Oh man, let's go Eevee, let's go Pikachu. Oh boy, what is there to say, man? Like, it's literally a game made for toddlers, not even for children, it's for toddlers. It's insane. All right, Pokemon Sun and Moon, I think are decently difficult. Some of the totem fights are really hard. Some of the boss fights in general are pretty hard. I thought the Elite Four even wasn't that easy. I think they sit somewhere in expert tier. I think they're around where Diamond and Pearl are. Maybe a little bit harder. And then you get to fucking Ultra Sun and Moon. Which, god damn did they amp up. Some of those totem fights are ridiculous, man. That Cutiefly, that fucking... The Mallow Trial, Ultra Necrozma, just listing everything off. If you're a beginner Nuzlocker And then like the early game that's super scuffed too. Some of the trainers have full EV sets. I think these are probably the hardest games in the Nuzlocke, in the series to Nuzlocke. These games have some insane shit going. Super, super, super difficult. They have pretty low replayability because of all the cutscenes and all, but these are really fun to Nuzlocke. The only problem is it's really hard to grind in them. The only thing that saves you in the early game is getting the Holucha trade. So if you ban that, you're pretty much fucked. Like, even the early game in this game is fucking difficult. Like the mid game is a little but like no, this is the hardest game in the series. I also think Sun and Moon are harder than Black and White. I don't know if they're master yet though, because they don't have the completely insane shit that these games have. Oh my god, Pokemon X and Y are so fucking easy. Oh, they're so easy. Anyone else like Mega Lucario? Anyone else like 4 Pokemon on Elite 4 members? Are they easier than Red, Blue, Yellow? I think there's like 3 fights. I think if you accidentally run into like random trainers in X and Y, you can get fucked. That's the thing, right? There's a couple of trainers in X and Y, random trainers in like Reflection Cave and shit that can fuck your shit up. And we can't assume that a beginner Nuzlocke is gonna dodge all of those, right? So I actually think they sit above all the Kanto games. Random trainers in this game are not free. Sword and Shield. I think Sword and Shield has a few difficult fights. I don't think they're like free. And like Wild Area kind of makes things interesting, like running into shit when you're under leveled in Wild Area. The champion fight in that game is pretty hard. Dynamax makes things pretty easy for you, I'm not gonna lie. But and you do get a lot of good Pokemon in this game. I think they sit in low apprentice tier. Alright, awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you leave a... I can't do these outros, man. Just leave a like and comment to boost my algorithm, please.